Previously... No, I don't want to do a silly voice. Previously on Tales of the Omega Astria, Devon was discovered by Maddie Winters in the strange gray void of the afterlife. Together with the help of a mute named Hall, they headed in the direction of a potential escape. Hall had been summoned to a gateway of the prisons of Ragdrea. Little is known about the Red Planet on the outskirts of the Omega Astria. Even the most daring adventurers avoid it like the plague, because many of the galaxy's toughest criminals and villains are sent there to be tortured by demons and devils for the rest of their days. And no one ever leaves, unless the circumstance is that of pure luck, and even then they say your body may escape, but your soul is trapped behind your cell forever. And that is where we begin this session. Devon, you, Maddie, and Hall walk through a glowing portal at the edge of the large staircase you were climbing, and when you feel yourself step onto something solid on the other side, you see a well-lit room with high ceilings and crimson stone walls, adorned with intricate carvings of demonic figures. The air has a stench of sulfur, and the occasional flicker of flame from outside somewhere. Large windows cast shadows across the room. Chains can be heard rattling, creating harmony with the moans of tortured souls all around. It looks like you're in some kind of booking area for like a hellish jail. There is a line of prisoners in front of you that seem to be waiting for their turn. The group is long and varied, with beings of all shapes and sizes. Some look resigned to their fate, while others are visibly shaking with fear. The devil, who runs the check-in desk up ahead, wears a name tag that says Varnak. He is a towering figure with jet black horns, red skin, and he sits atop an office chair made of mortal bones behind a desk that is formed out of molten rock, surrounded by piles and piles of paperwork. He has a wicked grin on his face as he greets each prisoner. Let's start off today with a good old-fashioned perception check, Devon.
Perception. One of the higher stats that Devon has over Jamal. And, wow, okay. Going to be helpful because I got a 1, and that adds 7. So 8. Fuck it.
Okay.
Pushing over right away. Yeah. That's enough of these guys.
You notice guards around the room, but nothing immediately stands out to you about them. Maddie, meanwhile, immediately ducks her head down a bit, even though she's a dwarf, and just sort of like hides next to your leg.
Wow. What do you see?
It's those fucking guys again. Do you think they recognize us?
I would definitely count on that.
Now that she says that, you can definitely see that there are some of the guards stationed around this area are dressed in full sleek black armor and have arms that are shaped like cruel-looking blades, and you recognize these people as the invaders that you've run into a few times now. She hides behind Hall.
Who in original ship?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Maybe not. They seem to conquer a lot of stuff, but lay low and stay stealthy as much as we can.
Yeah, hopefully they're just grunts and they don't know about us.
Agreed.
Hall walks up towards the line, and Maddie is sort of like stood behind his leg, walking next to him.
I'll follow slowly.
All right. So some time goes by as various people get sort of checked in. Occasionally, you just hear the devil at the front desk scream out, "Name and faction!" And people say they talk back and forth, and then there's 2 doors on either side of the room. Some people get dragged off to the right, and some people walk off to the left, accompanied by someone. Eventually, you make it to the front of the line, and this Varnak fellow is towering over you. Even sitting down, he's about 7 feet taller than you, with broad shoulders and a muscular build. He has a prominent brow and a straw jawline with sharp, angular features that give him a fierce presence. He kind of looks like sexy Squidward, but with dark, mottled red skin, and his dark hair is pulled back into a tight ponytail. He wears a simple, functional tunic made out of rough materials. On his belt hangs an assortment of weapons and torture devices, including a large curved blade and a coil of spiked wire. Despite his formidable appearance, there does seem to be a bit of a jovial vibe to him. Name and faction, please. And don't bother lying to me, or I'll sick Jessica and Trish on you, he says as he points over towards the two invader guards. And they don't laugh, and he's like, oh, what? I forgot we're not allowed to have fun anymore. It's illegal nowadays.
Well, what are you gonna do, you know? I am Devon Rott, and for my faction, I'm a little bit confused on what you mean by that, but originally I am from the planet Negru 5.
Ah, yes, Devon Rott. Death by magic. It's a shame, really, we haven't found a cure for that yet. No.
Yeah, it was kind of bullshit. You know, I'm sure you hear that a lot from a lot of people. Well, couldn't have scripted it any better, but wish that I had had a better chance to defend my fate before I lost it.
Well, I have got some good news for you, Devon Rott. It appears you are not bad enough to be sent off to the City of Sins, so you will be of the faction City of Souls, my good man.
Faction City of Souls.
Specifically, they are assigning you to the barracks, cleaning armor, sharpening weapons for the Demon Lord's armies during the day, and servicing said lords at night.
I mean, I guess that's better than being, tortured for, eternity, or whatever might actually happen to other people, I don't know.
He looks at you quite sheepishly for a moment and then realizes you're taking it seriously. I was joking about that. Honestly, you'll be spending most of your first week in the city resting up from your death. You can receive any sort of therapy or counseling you deem necessary, and then after that, we'll begin training for the role of either Champion of Death or maybe Squire of Passing, something like that, depending on your skill set and what you look like. Do you have any questions?
Yes. What if I refuse to enter the city?
Well, then your soul becomes no more, quite frankly. You have been granted an opportunity, my dear friend. You have the chance to live on another life, another chance. It may not be exactly what you want, but you have opportunities here. You could give that up, but I do not recommend it.
So basically, if I don't take your deal, I cease to exist.
Yes, you fade into the abyss of, darkness. I've never tried it myself.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So I'll take the deal, sure. And I'll, extend my hand out to shake him.
He grabs your hand very firmly and shakes it. Very good, very good. What about your dwarf friend here? Name and faction, Mizzer. And she's like, name, Maddie McGrath Winters, faction, I hope City of Souls? With my friend here? Maddie Winters, yes. You suffered a similar fate as your orc friend here, however your head crushing was real. So it is off to the barracks with you two. You will have your time of healing. You may follow this fellow.
Hey, let's go, Maddie.
Now, he points towards the tall man who has yet to speak. What is your name and faction, friend? Devon, as this is happening, your passive perception picks up on something. Walking up next to you, staring deeply into your leg, is a small creature standing about 2 feet tall, with a plump body and round head. He has red skin and sharp curved horns that protrude from his forehead, and this suggests that he is some sort of imp kin. He has beady yellow eyes that are darting around, sort of trying not to look at you as if he's up to no good.
I just kind of look down at it until to see, unless it looks up at me to acknowledge that I know it is there. Ultimately,
All right,
not trying to draw a bunch of what the fuck.
Right. All right, so you look down at it, and then back in the other conversation, Maddie's like, "Oh, this is Hall. I'm doing a man voice. This is Hall. He doesn't say much or anything." She starts pointing at him. Hall. Just Hall? Tall man nods. Are you sure you're not Carter Volante, Hall? Hall's eyes go wide for a moment, and he starts shaking his head no. Oh, my boss has been expecting you, Mr. Hall. And the tall man starts looking at both of you like, that seems bad. Sorry, pal. You got the short end of the faction stick, it appears. Off to the city of sin for you. Guards! And the two invaders start marching over. And Maddie's looking at you, looking at Hall.
No! Hall! Oh, that's too bad. That dude.
Not the homie.
The homie, though. Why'd you have to do it to the homie?
Maddie looks towards Varnak. Surely there's something we can work out here. What did he do? Oh, it's less about what he did and more about what he's been designed for. It's greater purpose stuff. You wouldn't get it. Take him away. And they just start grabbing him and pulling him in the direction, and Hall reaches his hands out either side, reaching for you and Maddie, but neither of you move. And eventually he's dragged through the other door.
Well, hopefully he meets Oates.
Yeah, don't worry about him. He should be alright for the first week or so, and then devils will break his mind into a million useless pieces. Anyway, why don't you follow Gavin here, and he'll take you to your living quarters. And now you look back towards the 2-foot-tall imp floating next to you.
Hi, I'm Gavin.
Hi, Gavin. What can I help you with?
Please let me show you to where you'll be staying for the rest of your eternal days.
Oh, okay, word, yeah.
Yeah, you can see Gavin, he's quite the impeccably dressed fellow, to be honest. He's got like a black butler suit with a crisp white shirt underneath, black bow tie, and a top hat. And his tail is kind of whip-like, and it flicks back and forth as he speaks to you excitedly.
Yes, follow me. I will show you immediately.
And he starts flying off in the other direction. I assume you follow?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Alright, and Maddie walks along next to you, sort of slowly looking back towards the door that they dragged Hall off through, and like, and then she just nods, shakes her head.
I can't go for that because of helping Hall. No can do.
Alright, you begin traveling through what ends up becoming a sort of tunnel. The farther you travel into this facility, the more strangely industrial it becomes. What you may have expected in a place like this is molten rock and, blood pools with heads on spikes, demonic torture chambers. Really what it is like a giant gray factory. And you walk with Gavin down the long corridor. He sort of glides in front of you. You can see other prisoners dressed in the same engineer's outfit with the flashlight. However, now that you're seeing it on another person, besides just you and Maddie in the dark, you can see that it's like a dark blue overall with slightly longer sleeves over a black undershirt, and each prisoner has their name stitched to the front pocket. And there's like belts and stuff that look like they could have tools strapped onto it, but nobody around here has got any. So, for example, you see like a Kenku Birdman walk by with the name Sirad on his overalls. Another thing you notice as you're being led is you can hear Maddie say, "Holy shit, it can't be," as she's staring up at the ceiling.
I look up. Who is it? Who can it be?
You look up as well. The only windows in this tunnel are the ones on the ceiling, so as you look up for the first time, you can see brown, gross, polluted sky and towering industrial buildings that are probably house other prisoners in other blocks. You can see a few small ships flying here and there. You can't really make out much detail on those. And then you see what most likely she was reacting to. Hovering hundreds of feet above the prison is a massive ebony black flagship made out of crystal. It looks just like the one that attacked you while you were at the Dothan Research Facility on Zolpro Prime.
Charity the belly of the beast.
Maddie says, Ayo, Gavin.
Yes?
Those guards back there and the ship in the sky, do you know who those people are?
Of course. I know a lot about what goes around here, and those are Azuriel's men. The ship belongs to him as well, although I heard a rumor that somebody gave it to him. It's called the Melkor, and it's where the Wardens hide out, so the experiments in the city of Sind... oh, poop. I did it again. There I go, saying too much. Just know that you probably don't want to mess with those guys. They're real trouble. The troops in the black suits don't talk all that much, but when they have, they refer to themselves as the Keen. Kean.
The Keem Stars.
I don't understand that reference.
Sorry.
As he finishes saying this, you finally make it to the exit of the long corridor tunnel. You, Maddie, and Gavin step outside and see a vast open courtyard in front of you made entirely of concrete, with about 200 to 300 similarly dressed people standing in perfect lines and rows. The ground is hard under your bare feet, and your ears are filled with the sounds of prisoners grunting and panting as they move through some sort of synchronized exercise.
So, guys, this is the courtyard Yellow Bells. You can see Miss Bloodzapper over there leading today's activity. Don't tell her this, but in 3 days from now, we're celebrating her death day with a surprise party. It's a real cracker, I promise.
Maddie says, you're not allowed to say that word anymore. No, she doesn't say that. And he begins to lead you further down. Give me another perception check, Devon.
Perception. The difference this time is we got the new dice. The new dice. If I can find it, it's on the left. We're gonna roll it. 13. Oof. So good.
A 13, okay. In the distance, you just barely perceive a large building made, you think, of the same black crystal as the Melkor. It rises up into the sky with tiny cracks exposing the interior core, and it's like belching out this green mist into the air. Just as you notice this, a small squadron of smaller ships come hurtling down from the brown sky above, and you think you can see them dock in some sort of landing zone next to the building. The prisoners in the courtyard pay absolutely no attention to the ships or the noises that are coming from above, instead just focusing on their exercise. And like I mentioned, they all wear the same attire, the sort of jumpsuits with the tool belts wrapped tightly around their waists, despite the sweaty activity that they're taking part in. And these prisoners are, they represent all the different kind of races of the Omega Astria. But you continue on. Eventually, Gavin leads you into one of those steampunk-looking towers, where you are greeted by a large demon statue of a humanoid bat thing with long fangs.
Okay, this is the statue of Demon Lord Mukathran, sadly lost to us when the Battle of Aor ended in beams of flame and fury. However, because of his lust pact with his wife Shalash, his soul now resides in this working of stone. And he starts doing a little prayer with his hands, bowing his head.
Once he finishes his prayer, I say, "Can I ask you a question?"
Oh, absolutely.
So when you're here and you die, are you just like permanently dead, or can you just not die?
Well, the only thing that can happen to you here is worse than death, and that's doing something so bad that you get sent to the City of Sin. And trust me, you do not want that. I hear rumors about things that, nothing, but it's bad.
Well, seeing how Paul was taken off so forcefully, definitely backs up those statements.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. Anyway, Oh, mighty Mulath, please guide those lesser than you to the place of living on this fine day.
Nothing happens. Too long goes by. You're sat there for 2 minutes.
Well, this is awkward. You know what? I don't think he's gonna help us. I think we should just check the stairs.
And he starts floating off towards the stairs. Maddie just shrugs and follows.
Is this gonna affect? So it's gonna affect where like I'm placed? Are you just gonna put me in some side room? You know, you hook me up here, man. Hook me and Maddie up.
Well, Varnak told me to just group you guys together to save space, so I hope that's alright.
Oh, of course, but you know, I'm sure there's some more appealable accommodations that perhaps we could have compared to the usual one with a persuasion roll.
yeah, you can make a persuasion roll.
Another 13. Let's go.
Listen, all the rooms are pretty similar, but I can try to get you a room with a real good view. How about that?
That would be excellent.
Alright. Let's head to the top floor then.
And he starts flapping his wings, zooming up the stairs. Maddie,
Follow.
halfway up the stairs, Maddie's like, do you think he was yanking our chain about that whole Mukath ball or whatever thing?
I'm not really one to like judge too much because he was doing a prayer. So if that's important to him, then you know, more power to him. That's kind of how I do.
I suppose if that was a bit, it was a pretty good one. All right, eventually, Gavin leads you and Maddie to your living quarters. You find yourself in a lit metal room, white walls all around with 2 large windows showing off a pretty good view of the sort of prison city down below. And from this view, you can see now that probably the original surface of the planet was a bit more hellscape, you know, fire and brimstone. It's been carved up and turned into basically this factory prison. And that's why there's such bad pollution. And you can just see people working all across the city. Seems pretty chill compared to what you'd picture it to be like. So that's a good thing. The room itself is pretty sparsely furnished. A couple of cots with a small steel table in the center, so there's room to put stuff in here. The cots have relatively thin mattresses, scratchy blankets, and weirdly no pillows. The room also has kind of a musty smell to it, like maybe someone recently was living here.
Alright, let me know if there's anything else you need. Otherwise, welcome to the City of Souls, and I look forward to seeing what you do with the rest of your afterlives.
Maddie will speak up. Before you go, why does it smell like that in here?
Oh, well, we've constantly got people coming in and out of here, and, pretty normal, right?
Do y'all ever change the sheets on the beds?
Yeah.
That was not a very convincing yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, Maddie's gonna incite him. Yeah, they probably do. I believe you, little guy.
Natural 20.
He's got no clue if these rooms have ever been cleaned.
Alright, well, it's not his fault then, whatever.
Alright, well. Alright, well, guys, see you around.
He just leaves. The door closes behind him. Well, I don't know about you, but I need to do a bit more investigating before I feel comfortable falling asleep in here.
Investigating just around our area, or what do you thinking.
Yeah, I think just making sure that there's not some tiny demon creature hiding under our beds or something. Just to feel a little bit safe. It smells really weird in here.
Yeah. I think it's probably best to avoid the stink as long as we can.
So yeah, she just starts looking around the room. Is there anything? What would be like the first thing you do when you're trying to settle down?
Or like find the stink. You mean?
You want to look for the stink?
Isn't that what Maddie's doing?
Yeah. Is that what you want to do as well?
Yeah. I just want to help out Maddie with whatever she's got going on.
Sure, you can give me an investigation roll.
2.
Alright, so you sort of lazily pick up a mattress and look under it. She actually pulls one of the beds away from the wall, and she's like, Devon, look at this. And you notice that there are like scratches on the wall behind the bed, as if someone had, tried to claw their way out. The room, while it does have a nice view, does kind of give off, now that you're alone with Maddie, it does kind of give off a cold, oppressive feeling, and it's clear that, this place was not built for comfort. It was built for just housing as many people as possible.
The smell is just awful, but I suppose we couldn't expect a 5-star hotel or anything. We are dead.
I suppose we get some rest, and then whatever happens tomorrow, we deal with it then. I'm just glad that you're here with me. Rip Paul.
Absolutely.
2023.
Rip Paul, indeed. We couldn't do anything. We would have simply just gone to the same as if anything.
Thanks for getting us here, bud. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I do feel bad, but also, like, we're dead. What's the worst thing that could happen to him?
Granted, we don't know what he did because he couldn't
That's true.
tell us. So he might have done some pretty messed up stuff when he was alive, and we'd have no idea. But I trust you, Maddie. Ultimately, we got to stick together here. Place is gonna be insane, but better in pairs than alone, always.
Hey, Devon.
Yes.
What happened after I died?
Wow. So much has happened. It's like quite a bit, but the minimum that I can say is that timeout. Devon would know that they had Maddie's body still, right?
Yeah, it was on the ship.
So, time in. We do have your body. That is what I can say. It has been, I died quite some time. Maybe not figuratively a lot of time. It was a couple of weeks after you died. I remember the time collective of it. But we went through so much insane shit after the station was attacked. It would take 27 hours to recite.
That's fair. Maybe while we rest, you could tell me.
Yes. Of the many misadventures of our glorious crew. May we be united with them again one day.
Let's hope. Alright, so Devon and Maddie sit in their beds chatting about the misadventures since she's passed away as they get some rest and prepare for the next day in hell. And that is where we'll pause with Devon for now and head back over to the crew of the Bronze Phoenix, who, after their harrowing escape from the Calvic spawn, They embarked on a perilous journey through the space and time to reach the Azure Sanctuary. However, their journey was abruptly interrupted when they encountered space sirens hiding out in an asteroid cave along the way. The sirens kidnapped pilot Jade Lianu. As an attempt to leave the asteroid field they called home. A plague originating from a Bethran mother was infecting other sirens in the area, but the party offered their services in return for the pilot and a broken-down robot corpse. As they headed back to the ship, they heard the sounds of another ship approaching. Stealthily, they unboomed the Bronze Phoenix and prepared for the rest of their trek to the Azure Sanctuary. What fate will befall them next? Is that strange ship dangerous considering they're in pirate space? And what new challenges await the crew on their journey throughout the galaxy? Alright, I'm gonna set the scene a little bit. Erebus, Cock, and Churros board back onto the Bronze Phoenix. You guys can see Jade head back up to her pilot seat. Anastasia is walking up out of the cargo hold, headed towards the engineering section of the ship, despite the fact that she kind of sucks at it. Meanwhile, the other crew members down in the cargo hold are still experiencing tiny side effects from actually being boom shipped. Jamal, Brock, Brawl, Reinhardt, Dridgy, and Timberly Bibbs. You all have to, like, pop your ears, you know, when you're, like, on an airplane. And you have this weird pain in your side, like everything in your body was just really small, and now it isn't. And while you have some sort of perception of how long you were in the boom ship, you weren't aware of it in the moment that it was happening, but now that you're big again, you can remember being tiny and in the dark place. It's truly bizarre. And as Leonard Latour walks up out of his cage, he accents the moment by saying, "First time is always the hardest." Reinhardt spits out blood. "Yeah, first time, last time." That was pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie.
I think that was a lot of fun.
I love your optimism, man, but that sucked.
Was it as fun or more fun as not breathing?
Alright, so Cock climbs down the
More.
the ladder into the cargo hold. Okay, that's fair enough, but it would have been better to just be on the ship, I'll be honest. But I hope you guys got what we wanted. Is Jade safe and home?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, Erebus climbs down into the cargo hold.
No, I just took my head down. Yes.
Alright, you stick your head down.
I believe last time I followed Jade to help her.
Alright, you head up into the cockpit. Leonard Latour is just like, "If you think that was bad, try doing it for as long as I did, without any hope of escape." Reinhardt's just like, no, I think I'll pass on that, but appreciate
No.
that sort of thought process there. Oh,
No.
man.
I'd be totally down for that.
We can try it sometime.
I look forward to it.
Cock, as you look around in the cargo hold, your eyes make your way to your companion Dridgy, the Loxodon, and you just see her start to sway back and forth, panting heavily. She clearly did not like being in the boom ship.
You need to lie down?
I think she like falls to her knees. Reinhardt turns. Is she okay? Is she pooping?
I haven't observed her pooping before, so she might be, but I don't think she is.
Timberly is like, is this the thing that she was talking about? Is she about to?
I've never seen her turn into it, so maybe, so be prepared. Where's
pull on my
Juro? 'Cause,
grenade.
if he's nearby, he should probably get the fuck out.
Chera's upstairs. He hasn't come down.
Okay, it's fine. Good.
I like how we've just all officially just started calling him Churro.
he's Juro now.
He is the churro.
Drigi's head falls into her lap, shaking vigorously. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck off right now, and Timbley starts climbing the ladder.
Sounds good, Timbley.
Does Elephant Friend need a hug? Brawl says.
Would you like a hug?
She doesn't respond.
Yeah, sure. Try a hug.
Okay. He starts walking over. Elephant Friend, run! Get away from me! And now you can see fur begin to protrude from her robed arms, and her teeth elongate into sharp fangs.
And I want you to hug her really hard.
Brawl is like, I don't. He's gonna roll a strength. Alright, so he starts grabbing onto her. Turtle friend, I don't like this!
I'm gonna take out one sleeping potion that Timbley gave me and try to put it in her mouth.
Alright.
I'll help and try to hold her down.
Okay. Brock, give me a strength roll. It looks like Brawl's doing a pretty good job, at least, of keeping her arms behind her back. Not necessarily...
I got a 19.
Alright, so Brock just comes over and just pins her head back. And Cock slowly... And Brock will also open her jaw as Cock pours a... pours a potion into her mouth. And you can see clearly her... You can actually hear the sounds of her bones cracking and popping inside of her body as her form is shifting. And with each passing moment, she just is growing larger and larger. She has like massive tusks that look like they could slice through a ship's hull. And her eyes are just wild and crazed. But yeah, you use one of your sleeping potions on her. And her eyes go dull once again, and the body goes limp.
Ah, fantastic. Good.
When
Would
you
anyone
turn,
like to help me bring this to my room?
I got you, Randy Cock.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Brock, with your 19, you're able to lift her. You're gonna need help from Brawl, but mainly for the ladder section. But he helps you carry her. Wait, why are we doing this?
To get her somewhere alone and safe.
Did I kill her with my hug?
No, she's very asleep. You did a great job.
Oh, thank God. I don't want any more friends to die.
Neither do we. Sort of. Mostly.
Alright, you guys drag Drigi off to Cocculus's room. When you get there, Timbley Bibbs is like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Howdy, friend. Long time no see. Your potion worked.
Good.
As
Yeah,
far as I can see.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot you had those potions. I had all combat ready. Alright, Alright, you've sedated the beast. Are you locking her in your room, or are you gonna experiment on her?
Can I lock the door from, like, the outside?
Yeah, I mean, you've got control over that room, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Then, yes, I will plop her in the room, and then
Do you let Timbley leave
make
first?
sure Timbley is not in the room as well, and then leave.
Alright, I'll make a note that his potion making his process has been halted, but other than that. And, you finish locking the door, and you turn around and see Cheros stood in the hallway behind you.
Do not go in there. I made a really big poop.
Yes, your friend Reinhardt told me what happened. I don't feel like being eaten today, or taken to her master. I don't really know, but I think we need to talk.
I'm free right now if you are.
If you wouldn't mind gathering the rest of your group, and I think before anything else happens, I need you to know my story.
Sounds good to me.
Hurry,
I will
Jonathan.
bring them all to the big map room.
He nods and walks in that direction.
I will run back off to the boys.
All right. Meanwhile, up in the cockpit, Jade and Erebus are sort of going about their business, and then there's a bit of a blinking light going off on the scanner, and you can hear that female AI voice say, "Large amount of ship activity nearby."
I guess I pull up the scanner to see what the large amount of ship activity nearby is.
All right, you pull up the scanner, and yeah, you can see it's not necessarily nearby, but outside of the asteroid field, near sort of the edge of... Actually, let me pull up the map for you guys. Near sort of the edge of pirate space, outside the asteroid field, you see large amounts of activity of ships. Do you want me to check on that? Jade says.
Probably best we avoid them.
Yeah, I might just give it an extra scan, just in case. Make sure it's
Feel
not
free.
Tratus or any of them.
If it is, fuck.
Exactly. All right, Cock appears. Actually, Cheros and then Cock appears in the cockpit. Captain? Cheros says. I believe I should call you Captain.
Yes, Churro. I am indeed the captain of...
Yeah. Hangs his head in shame being called Churro once again.
Yes, Churro. I am the captain.
I am the captain of the Bronze Phoenix. Sorry, Cheros.
If you have a moment, I would appreciate it. I think it's time you know the truth about me.
Uh-huh.
I assume Brack was following.
I was following Cock. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And where's Jamal right now? Is he still in the cargo hold?
Yeah, I'll just be in the cargo hold. Sorry, I'm pissing. That was a perfect time. Sorry.
All right.
Jamal's pissing too then.
Jamal's pissing in the cargo hold. In one of the empty boxes. Would now be a good time, or...
Now I look at Jade and I'm like, do you should we have the conversation here so you can be part of it? You can't really leave the pilot chair very much, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can do it here. I got that scanned if you want it.
Sure, let me take a look at this first. Churros.
You walk over to the scan. So yeah, you can see that there's the heavy activity you were saying was a group of tourist ships that were heading to something called the Star Watch Center.
Do I know what the Star Watch Center is?
Yeah, I mean, you can make a history check, see if you have any idea. Probably sounds familiar.
5.
Yeah, you're not sure.
And the tourists were the people who invaded the Starforge?
No, tourists as in tourists.
Tourists.
Tourists,
People-
sure.
Tourists. Yes. I look at it. It doesn't look too suspicious, but considering our ship's already semi-critical state and the fact we lack any significant firepower, we should
Yeah,
probably avoid them anyway.
it's part of the reason why I haven't lifted us off yet. I want to wait until that other ship gets out of the area, but right now they can't detect us.
Perfect. Let's keep doing that. I'm just imagining we do the scan, and even though we got like the holographic table that might show it, it just like prints off on, like, a fucking like fax machine. I'm just like,
Prints off 50 pieces of paper, you have to put them together to see what you're looking at.
exactly. Well, shall we have this meeting while we wait for them to pass then, Jade?
Now would be the best time, I suppose.
All right, let us meet.
Nick, do you want Jamal to join in on this, or are you cool just chilling in the hangar bay?
He's actively
no, I'll-
in the bathroom.
I was in the void, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll join in the conversation. I was just muted for a while because I was just catching up on notes.
All right. So Jamal walks up at this moment. He zips his fly up. It's. I feel it's important to mention that for cock's sake that Charos is still wearing Xantar's cloak. All right. Well, I suppose if I'm eventually going to get all your help in this, I need you to know everything from the beginning. So, well, I suppose I should start with a question. Do the current people of the Omega Astra even know who the Titans are?
The Tennessee Titans?
Absolutely not.
I never heard of no Titans.
Well, then I have to start from the very beginning. DM note. This is... I don't know if you want to take notes on all of this, because it's going to be a lot. But, you know, if you hear something that you think you might need, I would write it down.
I'll write an entire transcript.
I'll just copy and paste it to you guys later.
Perfect. Well, I mean, if Reinhardt was still a playable character, you would send that over to Jacob because of his eidetic memory his character has now.
I might do something like that. I might give a rundown of notes, but don't count on it, just in case, because I might be too lazy to do that.
Just make Reinhardt's abilities apply to the whole group. That's probably the most fair. You know what I mean? For real.
All right. So, first of all, I barely remember my childhood. It's not really that important, but me and my siblings...
You just see, like, a glare come on my face.
Me and my siblings were spawned by a corrupt creature named Kaldros. He was the warmongering king of our old realm, Darkian, the plane of the Titans. He is the size of multiple of your planets, and he would travel from one galaxy to the next, only to destroy and consume what he likes. He created me and the others by consummating with entire worlds. So, in a way, we are his children, but it's not the same as what you all do. When me and my sister Aurora were old enough, we began to understand who our father truly was and why he created us. To aid him in his corruption, to use our individual gifts from other worlds, our powers. But our youngest brother was different. You've heard his name, Hadraxel. He is a Hydrokin, the most powerful being I have ever seen. His body is made out of never-dying flame, and the energy it gives off, well, it can power an entire galaxy. He points outside the cockpit towards the Hydros. Alternatively, it can destroy Titans. So, if Kaldros taught Hadraxel from a young age, corrupted him, who knows what they could have been capable of together. We didn't want that for the rest of the worlds, and I didn't want that for Drax. So, we took as many siblings as we could and we ran. We knew it would not work forever. Eventually our father would find us. He's too powerful. So instead, we used the one thing more powerful, Hydraxel's powers, and we used it for good. He was powerful enough to create a barrier, something we called the Bubble. It keeps the Omega Astria, your home, hidden from the Darkian plane.
And also hosts NBA games.
For a time, yes. But it was quite the burden on Hadraxel. We couldn't ask him to focus on that his entire life. So instead, he discovered that he could create a star, an infinite source of his own energy, a never-dying battery. We named it the Hydros, after our brother, the one who was powerful enough to save us. And over time, we learned the true extent of all of our powers. Where Drax created energy, the rest of us realized we could create life, transform mana from the Hydros, fill the empty astral void with hubs, planets, where we could help others and protect something. We could finally be the opposite of everything our father wanted us to be. So Aurora crafted a world full of people just like her. She called them elves, and they lived on Elfir, and we watched over the years as some of them transformed and lost traits and gained new ones. Zadum birthed something similar, creatures that looked as he did, tall, gray-skinned, and over time Zadum added new kin, gnomes, a helpful friend to the Goliath creation, and he called it Zokral Prime. Mogor designed the orcs, ogres, and goblins of the Megru planets. Venja used her elemental energy to create a world that gave powers to the natives that were birthed on it. Gexius, the smartest of us, focused on bringing in creatures that could use the genius of their minds to help the rest of the galaxy, coming from Genlaris. Ray Hexler created Rogdrea, Varen with Vegarok, Nadina, the trickster, had the idea of Nyx, Tassador, Tidronis, Ethan, Isfarel, and when I finished Kaldrith Jarciar, before we knew it, we had a whole galaxy. Everyone had their own planet and their own people. Well, except for Drax. At the time, he acted a good sport about it, but looking back, he clearly felt outcasted by us. Like, we used him and his power, and I suppose we did. Thousands of years went by. Things were good. Over time, it changed. We became more distant, focused on our own worlds and our own problems. I tried to spend time with Drax, bring him along on missions and meetings as much as I could, but he began disappearing more and more, spending time alone elsewhere in the galaxy. I should have been there. One day I went looking for him, and I found him. He was outside the barrier that we created. And you can see a look of shame fall over Churros' face. In hindsight, I should have kept my cool, and I know that now, but in the moment, I panicked. You should have felt my fear. I mean, the damned fool's the most powerful flare in the entire astral vacuum, and to be so reckless as to potentially let every Titan know where our new home is. That day was the first time we ever had a real fight. I didn't know what to do. So I brought the information to Aurora. She was the leader of us. Later, I discovered that she went behind my back and conscripted Mogor and Gexius to spy on Drax without him finding out. Now we know that he knew the whole time. See, the thing is, Draxel and Aurora never saw eye to eye, ever, that I can remember. Even if I was close to both of them and tried to get them to amend things multiple times, he knew me. He knew that I would go to her in my time of need, and he knew that she would do something like that, so he did something that none of us expected. Draxel showed up in Kaldrith a few days later. My guards informed me, and I went out into the desert to confront him and to apologize. But what I found shook me to my core. And now Cheros looks directly into Cock's eyes. The orb. It showed you his memories, Cocculus. Maybe there is more you can fill in, but Hydraxel found the beast in the Elmic ship we discovered as kids, an ancient alien race we knew nothing of. We hid from it as much as it hid from us, but we were young then. Over time, me and Drax would still visit the ship, try to find the creature, bring it food, try to understand it better. We never told anyone of this. It was just our project. Anyway, he found it again. And without me by his side, he used his powers to overwhelm the beast, killing it. When I found him in the desert, he had ripped off the beast's armored skin and equipped it like gear. Oh, good God. The armor, it was so crude. I don't even know why he did what he did or how he knew about it. What was the armor for? The power? Somehow, it made him stronger than he already was naturally. To be honest, it terrified me to see him so desperate to kill an innocent being. And for what? Power? That day was the beginning of the end for us. After he gained his new armor, things moved relatively quickly. Drax made it clear to the entire galaxy he intended on dropping the barrier and seeking out Kaldros Starkian. Aurora, as I said, was the leader of us, and she set up a meeting where we were all to speak face to face about these things, about his plan. But Drax refused to attend, stating that we didn't understand his vision, that we would see in time he was going to save us all. What I did not know is that my other 10 siblings had been plotting behind my back. They took me prisoner, bound me to a cross in my own city, threatened to kill me in front of my people for conspiring with Hadraxel to damn the Omega Astria. Of course, it did not take long before Hadraxel showed up, swinging his mighty arms, ready to save me. Because there was still part of him, even after everything he had done. But it was a ploy. In truth, they simply needed him in attendance. They wished to use Hadraxel's powers against him, similar to how our father wished to use it. They wanted to banish him to another plane. The Fodem, where the listeners abide. That is an even longer story, I won't get into it, but maybe another time it will tie in, he says, once again looking at Cock. And then the other 10 begun the ritual. What they never saw coming was when Hadraxel snapped. Seeing me in such a position must have pushed him. Seeing the lengths our own kin would go to destroy him. Before I even realized what happened, Drax decapitated Ifin in front of me, burned Fenja and Zadam's bodies until there was nothing left, and strangled Tassador with one hand. It was so easy for him. He didn't even stop and think. Our family, they were gone in a moment's notice. As he did this, the armor looked like it was becoming stronger, like it was absorbing their powers with each death. But then it became clear that my brother was no more. That was all Aurora needed to convince me, so together the rest of us completed the ritual to banish him once and for all. But Drax was not done fighting. He used every bit of Hydrokin power he had left, and suddenly, before we knew what was happening, his power, the power of the Hydros, maybe 100 times, 1,000 times the power of our banish spell. And somehow, some way, we were all gone. All the gods, and an entire planet, my planet, Kaldrith Jarsiar, in a moment's notice, 100 million draconic folk gone. I never knew where Hadraxel ended up. I did not find his body, nor the armor he wore. I hoped perhaps the spell's powers had destroyed him and put my brother to rest, but we all knew we should not assume the best. Sadly, now I know the truth. Believe it or not, the rest of us were quite lucky. We made it. Kaldrith Jarsiar still exists, far, far away in the Fodem plane, alongside many Fidem. I was leading as king of Liberty Expanse, and we built a temple on top of Krogan Mountain with 4 large statues symbolizing our family members that died that day. But we had no way home. We required, I assume, some sort of summon back to our own realm because of the bubble we had created. It's quite ironic. And with no way to really communicate with the Omega Astria, we simply trained every day for 100 years in case we may get our chance to return. Aurora, with the help of the Fidem listeners, who are a race, I suppose, of ethereal beings that can communicate across realms, she began to send visions of the past to the Omega Astria because ourselves could not actually return. And then one day, not that long ago, our prayers were answered. A black hole opened up at the edge of our plane. And the original plan, a long time ago, was to send Aurora, as she was the wisest of us. Perhaps she could lead the Omega Astria back. But in her older age, she had become weakened, and if there truly was a threat of Hadraxel, I instead decided to volunteer and make up for what we all did to the galaxy, and stop the evil of Hadraxel, if he ever did return. Perhaps we could restore the glory of what this galaxy once was. And you guys pretty much know the rest. I woke up in that facility as a child because of my Phoenix abilities, and now I'm here.
What I got out of this is that your dad fucked planets.
Yes, my dad fucked planets.
So your dad was a slut.
My dad was many things. That definitely one of them.
So we're trying to stop Hydros. Well, I guess we are potentially going to try to stop Hydroxyl from contacting your father. But you guys created this mess because you had trust issues and couldn't let the man do his own thing?
You don't understand. If Hydraxel had succeeded in destroying the barrier, this galaxy would no longer be here. Hydraxel may think that he alone could stop Darkian, but there are too many Titans. They would destroy everything we had built.
But if he had failed, all of us wouldn't be here anyway, so...
Exactly. What we did...
We're basically in a pocket.
Yes, and in a way, a pocket in the greater astral abyss. See, the thing is, we did not realize that we would all go when we tried to banish Hadraxel. They thought that they could get rid of him, the galaxy would forget about him, and we'd go on the rest of our lives, but obviously that did not pan out that way. If it had, perhaps things would be different, but clearly it did not work, as he has somehow found a way to return.
Or maybe he never left, and only you guys were banished.
I suppose that is a possibility. Maybe he's had 100 years to plot his great attack on the galaxy.
I think you guys have been gone a lot longer than 100 years, man.
I hope not.
Because, let's be honest, what history in the galaxy, people don't really know much past... I turn to my crew to help remember this, especially Reinhardt, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of years of history that seemingly has been forgotten by the galaxy, and yeah.
I'd like to point out that I'm over 100.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So, our man Cock over here, he's over 100, and he doesn't remember any of this stuff you're talking about of happening before you guys got banished for 100 years. So, ipso facto, you guys have been gone for probably thousands of years, and time flows differently between planes like it typically does.
That could be the case, but the spell we used was meant to not just banish the person, but have them be forgotten. So, there is a case where when we banished all of ourselves, everyone in the galaxy simultaneously forgot about the gods that ruled over them. And the planet that I created.
Well, also, part of it is you said... When did you say the black hole appeared in your plane?
I suppose at this point it would have been a week or two ago.
Cock, how long have you been worshipping that thing?
Maybe almost 200 years.
What are you talking about? What black hole?
The anomaly.
The anomaly.
His religion is a black hole that
We
you came
worship.
through in your spaceship before you crashed on Vega Rock.
Yeah, it's right next to the fleet that
I'd pull up a map
lived
on, like,
for the
the-
vast majority of my life.
On the map table, I just pull up the map and I'd like point at the anomaly. Yeah, this black hole right here, this anomaly, that's what you came through in your spaceship before you crashed on Vega Rock over here. Like, well, that happened about 3 weeks ago. In our time now, you coming through and crashing. The anomaly's been there for like 200 years.
At least. Because I was born into the religion.
As you're pointing towards where the anomaly is on the map, you can see Cheros's eyes go wide. The anomaly is... The anomaly is the empty space where Caldrith used to be.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised. That's how magic rituals typically go when a big explosion of magic happens. Unintended consequences.
But that means... if I came from there, then... there's an open portal to...
The Fade? Or whatever you said it was?
The Fodem, yes, the Fodem
The
realm.
Fodem.
But the black hole was not open on our side until it was. Perhaps I can go back. Not that I would. I obviously have things I need to do first. It's just... maybe there's a way to bring it back.
Or it's Hydroxyl taunting you. You said he made the barrier. He probably controls it. This little black hole probably goes through it. So a week ago he was like, you know what? Let them come back and let them think they can do something about this.
Maybe, but... I don't know. That doesn't add up. All I know is that we need to get stronger. Be prepared to face him when the time comes. Apparently he's going by Tradus now, but... even so.
Yeah, but... I look around, like, is everyone gathered in here besides Strigi?
Timbly Bibbs probably wouldn't be in there. Anastasia's in the engineering room. Reinhardt's up there. Jade's up there.
I look around at... No, I just specifically, I look around, I'm like, I only can speak for myself, Cheros. Most likely, I got some personal things to deal with as well, but I'm probably also going to try to stop the sun from being destroyed because it's a battery powering a bubble that's protecting us from apparently enormous planet fucking titans out there. But the rest of the crew has to make their own decision. I might be the captain, but I can't force them to do that because that would be slavery, and that is illegal. Except on the
we have
human
a
planet.
slave cage in the in the transport.
No, we have. I point at the halfling. We have his weird fetish cage. Okay.
Oh.
Jade stands up from her piloting spot. So you guys just believed everything he said without any hesitation, huh?
I've seen some weird shit.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
gonna love
past.
this. Shit's fucking insane. Like,
Turned
what
into
the
a
fuck are
giant
y'all?
dragon one.
Like, half of the room here is worrying me because y'all are just going along with this crazy bullshit that we just heard. I don't believe that for a second.
Ever since I left the fleet, I've been just going along with pretty much everything that has happened.
But Cock, you have seen these things. You've seen the visions that I speak of.
Yeah,
you
that's
must believe.
well, yeah, of course.
Okay, good. I was getting nervous there for a second.
I can talk.
I go
in my
to
head.
Devon's. No, never mind. I think I might still have it, like the black box from his ship, from like the first episode,
Yeah.
and I just like take that out and plug it in to
All
a
right.
fucking map to play it for them.
Yeah, you see this image of a fiery, blue-fired being sat behind some sort of cell, and you hear the voice of Cheros basically being like, I can't remember exactly what it was because that's from notes from the second session we ever did, but basically like, we can't let you do this. You need to reconsider. And as Cheros is seeing this, he's like, I don't know why I brought that. I assumed maybe it would help me in some way to convince. I am a fool. Okay, Jade says. So the blue guy exists. Fair enough. But the whole thing about the gods, we don't have gods. So unless you have more proof to that, there's absolutely no way I'm going to fight this fucking green armored guy just because you say so Sorry, Snake Boy.
You think we should tell her we're fighting the gorillas?
I cannot ask any of you to join me. I don't know what to say. This is my destiny. This is what I must do. If you do not wish to join, then I cannot ask you to risk your lives, but it is for the greater good of this galaxy.
I go over to Seth and I whispered him and I ask, what was Devon's relationship with this weird guy or whatever he is? I don't even know.
I mean, can I roll perception to see what I thought of Devon's relationship with this person?
You can do insight.
Insight, because I don't believe we ever straight up talked to each other about it. We were just sort of going along with it the entire time.
Yeah.
19.
All right, Nick. What did Devon think of Boy?
Oh, God. Time to go read my old notes.
I know he liked him when he was still Alduin, and then everyone's like, "Who's Alduin?" And I'm like, "Well, when we found him, he was a baby, and then we put the cloak on him, and he grew into an adult." All right, keep going, Nick.
I think Devon always thought that Alduin was pretty crucial, but he did also abandon him. I think we did that multiple times of abandoning Alduin, so I think he was a bit thoughtless towards him, would be the way I'd see it. So Devon's kind of inclined then to, Jamal is inclined to not really give a shit about it.
Would my insight have led me to know whether or not Devon believed the stuff Churros told us? The brief things that it was when we were still together?
Yeah, I think you'd have a pretty good perception on him. You guys were around each other for a long time.
So, Nick, did you believe? Did Devon believe the things Churros told us before Devon died?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I turn to Jamal and I say, I believe while their relationship was good and we often...
But it's not 360 degrees. Sorry.
I tell Jamal, it's sorry, while we had a good relationship with Churros and Devon didn't not get along with him, we also frequently left him behind as we got tied up in other things, unfortunately. But he also did seem like me and Cock and Reinhardt, I also believed most of the things he was saying due to the shared experiences we had gone through.
Excellent. So, thank you for letting me know. This will inform my decision on the matter.
Yes, perhaps you should all have a vote on whether or not you wish to help me, and if the vote is no, then maybe I need to find other allies. You're welcome to join me, Erebus.
Yeah, as long as we can make a pit stop on Vegarok, I got some shit to deal with there.
Yes.
I'll go anywhere friend Cock wants to go.
Cheros looks towards Cock.
Yeah, I can't prophesize the word of our Lord and Savior, the black hole you came out of, if I'm dead. So, and you'll probably harass me in my mind for the rest of time if I don't. So
I'm not doing that on purpose, I promise. I believe that was Archilian that was connecting us.
Yeah, he's a real one. But yeah, I will tag along. Richie will also tag along as she is, quote unquote, my bodyguard.
And so will Timberly Bibbs, because he's quote unquote working for you. I guess.
Should we call up the other crew members to see what they have to say?
Sure, we'll probably also have to re-explain everything to them because they weren't here.
Yeah, maybe we should just not take the vote. Well, we have representatives, Jade says. Jamal, I assume that you may want to speak with Brawl, but he follows where you go, so perhaps you have some idea. But personally, I am interested to see what you have to say, Jamal, as we seem to be in the same boat on this being absolute horseshit.
My main goal is assisting my fellow orc who got me out of the most difficult situation I have ever seen in my life, and reviving that man any way I can. I guess my question for churro wasn't it? Like
Churros.
like churros.
It's Cheros, but you can call me whatever you like. I'm asking a lot of you all.
Churro then.
Sorry.
Is you waiting for him?
Churro then. So, I forgot what I was
I think you're about to ask him
Sorry.
something, but I don't know.
ask him. Oh yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think that the best course of action is having Devon by our side when we face Hydraxel. So I think him, Maddie, anyone else that will help us, that's ultimately a good thing.
Good. How do you prioritize reviving Devon? Are we talking immediately? Are we talking in your plans, meaning eventually?
Well, what was your plan for reviving them? He says, just sort of generally asking the crew.
Well, we were going to go to a monastery and potentially have them be revived, but I wasn't quite sure what the sirens on the asteroid said, but the monastery may or may not be infected by a disease.
Yes, I remember now. Yes, the Bethran mother.
You can kill two birds with one stone. We revive like 3 birds with the same stone.
Yes, and Bethran mother are known to hoard treasures, so perhaps we could find something to...
We can
help
become
us.
pirates.
Of the
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yo ho,
But we also
Sorry.
still need to get back to Elfia at some point and tell them this shit is going on.
Yes, so that is also on my list of plans. I wish to speak with the leadership of the Ring, and perhaps we can come up with a plan.
And then at some point we also have to fight the Gorillith.
Jade still stood up, arms crossed, in her sort of like military camo pants, burgundy t-shirt. And Jade says, looking at Jamal, my plan too is to get our friends back, both Devon and Maddie Winters, the original crewmates of the Vindicta. And then, once we get back to Elfir, I'm done. And then she just sits back down.
That makes complete and utter sense.
Why did we save her?
Because we have no other pilot. And she's also our friend.
She just flips cock off from behind.
Because she is part of our crew, and as captain, it is my duty to make sure the entirety of the crew is safe. I have failed twice. I don't want to fail again.
Okay.
Even though Devon's not really on me, I was trying to rescue him, and we found him dead.
Speaking of dead people,
I also tried to rescue Maddie, and I ended up dead. So,
man, dying is fun, right? I mean,
I look forward to the day.
that's the spirit. Speaking of dead people, what is the bounty on the head of the woman that Brack
I think
ripped her head off?
it was like 6,000 credits.
Ooh.
Does that sound about right? I'll just pull up my Thieves Code app again and relook it up.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
The app says, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, good. Okay.
It varies depending on how valuable she is on the day.
So, I guess one question in all of this is, with all your family's powers of creation and life, could you just revive Devon and Maddie, so we don't have to go to the Azure Sanctuary?
Maybe if you could get me to a powerful enough source of hydronic energy, but it is dangerous. They may not come back the same way they were when they were alive.
Well, that's a good backup plan in case the monks at the Azure Sanctuary don't work out and turn to be enslaved by some mother.
Mommy!
I would like to visit a single Anno Fleet owned place that isn't broken or infested. That'd be great.
Yeah. It would be. It'd also be nice to end up on a single Starfleet planet that doesn't immediately try to kill us.
That would
So,
be nice
what's
too.
a mother? Is it like a master?
Sort of, except it's controlling them via eggs in their face and like diseases.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she is the master, really.
So shall we continue to head to the sanctuary then to try to revive our friends and then get to Elf here and we can part ways there?
You're saying that to Jade.
Just to the group.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like fun.
Adventure awaits.
Jade will speak up and say, "Alright, I've looked up the Star Watch Center if you want some more information."
Yes, that would be nice.
Alright, the Ring Databank says it's a portable docking station where visitors can watch shooting stars and other scenes from astral space. Maybe we could ask someone there about the Azure Sanctuary? What did Dridgy even say it looked like? Does anyone know?
Reinhardt, you were there. You have an eidetic memory. What did she say?
I gotta kill off Reinhardt. No.
Launch him out of the airlock.
She mentioned that it was a... She suggested that there was a sanctuary built into a rock or something, and it was like a portal.
A portal to what?
To the sanctuary, I mean.
Oh.
So that's what Reinhardt says. I don't know why I described it in the DM voice. I could have said it in Reinhardt's voice.
Well, what does everyone else think?
Yeah, let's go to the sanctuary. We can get these corpses uncorpsed.
And if that doesn't work out, we can just get as close to Hydros as possible before our ship starts to melt, and we can have Cheros provide them.
And if there are enemies, we can rip them from limb to limb.
That too.
There will be enemies.
There always
Yeah.
is.
I love enemies.
And we can take the beds. Some of the beds, because
Awesome.
Ridgey's spine is probably not going to last too much longer if he doesn't have something that isn't a metal floor to sleep on.
Did you get rid of your bed in your room?
I sold almost everything in my room to get anomaly stuff from the Church of the Anomaly that was...
So you have the money, but you don't have the stuff because we had to flee town, because we always have to flee town. Why are we always fleeing town, guys?
To be fair, the Starforge got invaded.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah,
not
that
on
wasn't
us.
your fault.
I just assume you guys are just perpetual chaos.
That also might be
but-
true.
But the entire Starforge as a whole wasn't our fault.
That is true.
Other things may have been, that specifically not. Also, once we get in contact with the Ring Fleet, we need more people. Hopefully, I can get in touch with whoever actually ends up being in charge of the Anno Fleet, and we can get the Faith Militant to pull up on your boy.
That would be very helpful to have a
As far as I
army
know,
by
they
your
haven't-
side. No,
they
fuck
haven't
you, I'm
sent
talking.
anyone new yet. We're both just mumbling on opposite sides of the room.
Cheris and Cock are a hopeless couple.
Hopefully the information in the documents we provided, we came up with the mission report that Reinhardt still has. It will be enough for the government of Elf here to upgrade this ship so it could withstand a fight with just about any other ship.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a good reward for
Instead of-
all of you've done All you've done
Instead of,
since the trauma you guys have gone through.
Instead of doing less damage in a single blast fire than my rifle, it's more efficient for me to stick my head out and shoot at enemy ships than it is for our main gun to fire.
Maybe we could find another one of those casinos so you can police them.
That too.
Also, take everything from the sanctuary if it doesn't work out.
We can do that as well.
Actually, even if it does work out, because the mother's there anyway, and we're taking all her stuff.
What, we know for sure the mother's there?
They said she was at a sanctuary. I don't remember which one, but
All right.
They also
we can
sounded
go-
like they really didn't want to go to the Azure sanctuary, so that heightens my thought that she might be there.
Great.
And yes, loot is still loot.
Yeah. Apparently they're treasure hoarders, according to Cheros. So that'll be more money to fund our adventures and compensate the people who are leaving at Elf here.
So, Jade is like, do you want me to? Do you want me to take us to the watch center, or are we just gonna fly around until we find the place?
Oh, we don't know where it is? I thought we knew where it was.
Do we? You want me to fly to a rock in space? It's not really a location.
Give me a moment. I look at this map, and could I just, do an insight check to see if I can figure out where it was based off of Trigy's description relayed to us through Reinhardt?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to do an insight check. The place that the marker is on the map is the general area that she thought it was, but also she mentioned that she read about it in a book, so she may have just been guessing. You have no idea. And she's also currently unconscious.
Oh, yes, I guess we should go to the watch thing then, so we can get directions.
Hopefully, somebody. I mean, it's a fucking Star Watch. Somebody's got to know where a floating rock is, right?
There are a lot of
Oh,
rocks
oh,
in
that's a
space,
rock.
though. So,
Jade starts scanning to see if that other ship has left. What were they doing?
probably tracking us, I'm guessing.
Oh, I hope not. All right, we should be good to go. Everyone ready? Battle stations, crew, captain, orders.
Take off?
Water.
All right, she starts heating up the engines.
I get on the intercom and relay what is going on to people.
All right, what do you say?
This is your captain speaking. We are preparing for takeoff. We are going to the Star Watch to find directions to the Azure Sanctuary, where we will try to revive our dear friends, Devon and Maddie Winters. We will also be facing off against an alien creature known as the... What was it again, guys?
Reinhardt says, Bethrin Mother.
Bethrin Mother, who is most likely taking over said sanctuary in order to then free the monks who can revive our friends. Have a lovely afternoon, and good night.
Reinhardt gives you
I
two
love you.
thumbs up.
Can I roll persuasion to see how, uplifting that speech was for people?
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. 12. And if anyone's a dwarf,
Maddie's dead body loved that.
then it's a 25.
All right, you guys begin preparing. Are you guys just going to stay in the cockpit?
I'm going to try to just help Jade. And I'll tell Reinhardt as the other most dexterous person to go help Anastasia.
Okay.
I'm gonna be watching Dridgy until something significant happens.
So you're going back into the room?
Yep.
All right, you head back into the room. Reinhardt heads to the engineering section. Cheros heads to his room.
I'm gonna also go to my room.
All right, so
Take a
Cheros
nap.
and Brack go to their rooms. All right, Cheros and Brock both take a nap. Brack, sorry. I spend so much time saying cock that I just want to say Brock every time. I'm not even talking about this campaign. I just mean in general, my personal life. I spend so much time saying. Jamal, what are you up to?
I think Jamal is also going to take a nap. He needs a break from the madness.
All right, Jamal heads to bed. You guys woke up. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. And so everyone needs a nap from time to time, especially when you're dealing with fucking draconic pirates and all that stuff. All right, so you guys begin to take off, exiting the asteroid field and traveling. You can see through the cockpit window, Erebus. There are a bunch of brightly colored ships, like decorated with all kinds of flashing lights, and there's like a bunch of advertisements set up on like signs outside of the Star Watch Center to attract obviously visitors or people passing by. And as the Bronze Phoenix approaches, you get closer, you see that there's a large theater structure with a series of docking bays on the outer edge. Through the cockpit, you notice that the hangars are filled with a variety of ships, ranging from the sleek, speedy cruisers to large, lumbering freighters carrying who knows what. And as you pull into the docking spot, the first open docking spot, you can see that the center is bustling with activity, tourists, visitors milling about, chatting excitedly, taking pictures with various gadgets and devices around. There's like a small little museum set up as before you enter in, so you can see like some space rocks, which doesn't seem that exciting considering everybody basically lives in space, but still,
you still got those nerds.
Yeah, still got space nerds. And you can hear the hum of, various languages being spoken. Orc, goblin, elf, all kinds of stuff. And occasional beep from a phone going off. What do you guys want to do? I assume you're all, or do you all want to leave the ship, or just a few of you to look around?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
I'll go with talking them.
I'll leave too.
That's 3.
That's 4.
Oh, did Jacob say he's going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so the group of you step off. Everyone else stays in, and Jade just gives you like a snarky, like, "Let me know when you guys want to go." And
you
can feel her eye roll.
We'll hopefully leave this place not on fire.
We will all be alive.
Well, I wouldn't.
2 minutes later, we'll come back.
That would be fun.
Guys, Cock is dead.
Everyone's stuck in another wizard tower.
Guys,
Please,
both
come
of our
save us.
tanks died.
You hear Jade say over your communication device that you assumed Drigi gave her, If there's any more deaths, I'm just leaving. And you guys disembark from the Bronze Phoenix. You're immediately greeted by a friendly-looking black-haired dwarf with a big, bushy beard. Well, hello, travelers.
Hello, good sir.
My name is Garmin. Nice to meet you. I am the center's official greeter.
Do you perchance know where we would find information on the Azure Sanctuary?
Oh, no, I don't think I do, but I might be able to bring you to someone who does.
That would be lovely, my good man.
Yes, the Star Watch Center is run by a retired astronaut, historian named Professor Isaac Wainwright. And he's spent most of his life studying all this stuff. He's written a few books about the subject, so perhaps he can help you.
That would be lovely if you would be able to guide us in his direction.
Yes, right this way, follow me. You guys begin to make your way through some of the crowds. You can see the interior of the center is just as impressive as the outside was with the flashing lights. You can see like towering telescopes, massive screens displaying images of distant stars and galaxies. There's also like a team of student scientists and researchers that are busy analyzing everything, just like you said, space nerds. Erebus spits in their direction. Despite the excitement and activity around you, you can't help but get a sense of unease from the amount of people that are here and just the jovialness of everyone not taking, pirate space very seriously. These people clearly are not the type that would be constantly looking for dangers, unlike you guys who have spent every waking moment the past few days looking for dangers.
Or in a demon-infested realm.
Exactly.
We're in a constant arena battle.
You guys walk through a back door, and the second the door opens, you hear an animated voice go, "Welcome to the Star Watch of the Omega Austria! The Omega Austria!" And yeah, you can see there's like a bunch of people in this back hallway. They they're all walking around super pretentiously like they think they're famous or something, but you quickly move past them to the back door, and Garmin's like, "Oh, pay no mind to them. Those are the merchants." He winks at you. Until eventually, you walk up to an office with Wainwright inscribed on the door, and he opens and he says, "Professor, I have a few researchers here that would like to speak to you about a specific topic." "Oh, hello there. Of course. Come on in. I
Thank
oversee
you.
the operation here. What can I do for you?"
Yes,
Garmin leaves.
we were wondering if you in this lovely station perchance had directions to the Azure Sanctuary.
Ah, the sanctuary, built into a star. He nods as if he knows what you're talking about. You want directions to it?
Correct.
Yes, it's a remarkable celestial object, truly one of a kind, but I'm afraid we don't have access to it here. It was, Please don't punch me the next time you see me. It was stolen some time ago by a notorious scumbag named Percival. But I know what you're thinking. Yes,
sanctuary
exactly.
was stolen, or the
Yes.
directions to the
Steal a
sanctuary was
star.
stolen.
Yes, it seems impossible to steal a star, something that big. Technically, you'd be right about that, but the Azure star is not a real star. It's a highly advanced holographic projection placed upon a floating rock created by some team of nitwits engineer years ago. I don't know how Von Donner managed to get his hands on the blueprints and figure out the controls of the star, but it's quite complicated. I have reason to believe that perhaps Von Donner's space yacht nearby is what actually houses the thing. Perhaps you may be able to find it there and conduct your research. It's not easy to detect, though. It's not worth the hassle of our employees, I'll tell you that much. But perhaps I could give you some help with that, and in return you do some research for me, if that would be alright.
What do you have in mind?
Oh, well, I've prepared a data pad with some information about the thing. If you just fill in the blanks, that would be perfectly fair to me. I can give you the assumed location of said space yacht.
Sounds lovely.
Yes, there's a detailed map on here of where the Azure Sanctuary usually is located. List of possible entrances once you actually find the damn star. Information on how the Elder Clerics have their security measures set up, including the types of magic sensors and alarms that they typically use. So it used to be a grand part of our exhibit here, but that fucking asshole, Percival, he just... nothing is enough for those scumbag rich folk from Elfir. There's also some schematics about the star. You can fill the rest in that for me. And write down any sort of summaries of potential dangers that tampering with the star might cause. Don't get yourself hurt, just try to do what you can. And he hands the data pad out to Cock.
I will take it. Don't worry, I'll probably get hurt.
Oh, well, I hope not, but sometimes that's what research requires. And don't bother coming back all the way here when you're done. Just send the information to my contact on the datapad.
Free data pad, thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, these things are not that expensive.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We are all very much aware of that.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing your research. Are you all students or just adventurers?
Yes. One is always a student of life.
He looks at the 200-year-old turtle. Well, it's never too late to do some studying, I suppose.
So where is this yacht now?
Oh, yeah. Last I checked, it was nearby. We've been trying to track it, but as I said, it's difficult, so we just have a general location. If you do find it, you know what, I'll say this. If you do come across Percival, I would not be that mad if you did give him a good talking to. I'll just say it like that.
Okay. Thank you for your help.
And do not underestimate him. He may be an asshole, but he is smart.
Most are.
Not around here. You can hear like a child scientist fall down in the hallway, dropping a bunch of elixirs all over the floor.
No, I meant most assholes are smart. No.
Oh, yes, quite right.
Well, have a good day, and hopefully we'll get this research to you lickety-split.
Ah, yes, of course. Good. Alright, you guys exit from his office and begin heading back out the way you came towards the Bronze Phoenix. And I assume you get back on.
I would like to, unless Cock has anything else he would like to do.
I do not.
All right, then we do. Unless
All right.
Jamal and Brack have anything else they would like to do.
I'm good.
Yeah, same here.
Perfect.
Alright, you guys begin to board. As you board, you hear from your communication devices. You're all alive? No infected zombies or anything like that?
No, we literally walked in, talked to a dude, got a deal where we'll do some research for him. He'll point us to the Azure Star, and we're good to go. No zombies, no magic clowns, no invasion, no pirates, no zombies,
I
no
think I saw
demons,
the
no deals
guy
with the
was
devil.
fucking slap his
None of that.
slave right before we left.
What about a slave?
What? I don't worry about it. Not important.
Alright, the airlock goes off. You guys enter back into the ship. And, what would you guys like to do? I suppose give the coordinates to Jade
Yeah.
first and foremost. Alright, I'll get us moving in that direction.
So we're not actually going to the Azure Star. We're going to a ship of someone who stole the Azure Star.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently it's pocket-sized or something. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, getting there a lot easier.
We can just keep it with us.
We are becoming pirates. Somali pirates, but still pirates.
Let's calm down a little bit, guys. All right, so
Molly pirates are the best pirates.
Jade will begin to put in the coordinates. What would the rest of you guys like to do?
I'm gonna go work out.
I will sit with Jade.
Go work out by doing what?
Doing push-ups. Just straight push-ups constantly.
Ah, okay.
Switching it off every once in a while, doing like one-handed.
I assume Cock heads back to his room.
It's time for our draconian study session.
Okay, well, if you're gonna do that, Timbly Bibbs is not going back in that room while Drigi is in there, so...
We'll study in the hallway.
Alright, you sit down in the hall. You can study in the kitchen, at the table. Unless you're devoted to studying in the hallway.
I will reclose the door and then we can go to the kitchen.
Okay. As you do that, Jamal, where are you going?
Jamal shall approach Devon's spot, and he shall put his hand on his right shoulder, or the shoulder facing him closest, and he will say, "Friend, we're close. We'll have you back soon." And he will go and hang out with Brawl.
Okay. You find Brawl in your room, and Brawl has uncovered some sort of comic book that was pushed in between the bed mattress and the box. So he's reading that to himself, and you talk about that. Very good DMing.
Good days in the How dare you didn't prepare half an hour story about specifically that comic book?
Let me open up, was it Chat GBT and see what they have to say about that. Okay, so you guys begin traveling in the direction that the quote-unquote space yacht is supposed to be. Eventually, a few hours go by, as you're traveling through pirate space. Need someone to roll a d4 for me.
1.
1.
Let's do it again, boys. Everyone else.
I got a 3. I fucked it up.
Oh man, Andrew.
The vibes are broken.
I can't even grab the dice. I got a 3.
Vibes are back on. Split it.
The bugs are back.
And we need a vote breaker.
So we got a 2.
Makes sense to me.
Alright. That's
I have to go to the bathroom. Very badly. Keep going. I'll be back.
alright, so you guys are traveling through space pretty quickly. The shields have been brought down a tiny bit and weapons are off. And eventually, the Bronze Phoenix sort of comes to a quick halt. And you can hear the intercom Jade say, "Okay, there's a ship. What do you want me to do, Captain?" And Erebus sits there thinking, what do I do in this moment?
He's thinking while taking a shit.
I'll say the ship doesn't stop completely, it just slows down heavily.
Cock is gonna make his way up to the pit.
Alright, so yeah.
All this time.
Erebus is actively stuck in the bathroom trying to get the door open. It's been jammed ever since he locked it. He locked what's his face in there. Cock sort of hobbles up to the cockpit. Hey Cock. There's another one of those weird-looking goblin vessels. I just thought, just in case, I should slow us down.
Are they facing us at all?
Yeah, they're coming in your direction. They're pretty much right in front of, like, not right in front of you, but they're straight coming towards you.
Alright, I'm going to... in case they do talk to us, I'm gonna cast Comprehend Languages on myself.
Do you want me to open communication with them, or just see if they go by us?
We can wait and see what they do, but the last ones we came across opened communications with us, so if they do that again, I will be able to translate.
Alright. As this happens, there's a flushing sound from downstairs, and Erebus walks out of the bathroom.
They poop fly by the window.
Yeah, well, no, you have to press the button in the cargo hold. And yeah, she just keeps the pace slow as you head past. Eventually, there is a red light comes up on the communicator. She looks at you. They're trying to talk to us. Do you have any interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. She presses it and then does her little thing to get a line of communication going. And then you hear Do you speak Goblin?
I do not speak Goblin, but I can comprehend it now.
Ah, yes. You get a... So comprehend is just you understand what they're saying, right? Is that what this
You
was?
understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that I can hear.
The literal meaning. Okay. They're basically saying, big ship scary. Why float no forward?
I will tell the rest of the homies that they seem to be frightened of our ship and us floating threateningly in the void.
And, alright, so you say that over the intercom?
Well, Poop Boy is back and the pilot is next to me, so I'll just say that to them.
Alright, Poop Boy, do you want to go up to the cockpit?
We left the poop gnome back on local prime.
It's him, it's Mr. Comedy, get him.
My favorite character. The chandelier incident of 2022. Alright, so Erebus comes up to the cockpit, and now you can see this. Now, with Erebus' perception immediately points out before even the scanner is about to pick this up. In front of you, there is this goblin ship that's coming in your direction, but there's like these space mist that happens from time to time where there's colorful things going on. Behind it, there is a large white vessel that has just stopped moving.
Cock, I think they're talking
And then
about
the scanner goes off.
ship right behind them.
Oh, they mean that big scary ship. Okay.
Yep.
They're scared of that ship, not us.
Exactly.
And then you hear a bunch of other noises coming from the communicator, and Cock, you hear say, I'm speaking like Goblin already. You hear them say, "Are you speak me, or are you speak you?"
I speak me. Do you understand me? Yeah. Can you understand me? Boom.
We understand your language, but we do not speak your language.
You hear a more distant voice that Cock understands as a person saying,
"No, Glurd. They know here, nodding." "Oh! Me speak you.
Oh, very good.
Us run. Or
Sounds good.
fly.
Have fun.
Ship go.
Run fast.
Bye-bye."
Swim
and then
well.
the communication ends.
Alright, they're leaving.
Jade looks at you. Oh, okay. So I assume, considering we're getting close, that ship up ahead is what we're looking for.
Most
looking
likely.
for a big yacht.
Yeah, I mean, you guys see a massive vessel floating in the void.
Do you know how to stealthily approach the ship and like? This is my best example. Like in the Clone Wars, when they're like getting on the malevolence, they just sort of like float up to it and attach to it without them realizing. Can we do the same thing?
Well, safest thing to do would be to do some scans first. So I might want to slow down and do that. Bring shields
Alright.
up in case they do anything against us.
You are the pilot. I am the captain. I agree with what you're saying. Let's do that.
Do we have any data on the yacht on the data pad?
You're the one with the data pad, man.
I asked straight to the data pad. Like, it is in third person.
You look at the notepad, hoping it will talk to you like Xanax, the book.
Please, I'm so lonely.
Oh yeah, we burned that fucking stuff.
Yeah, you have some information. You have a more detailed description of Percival, and then you have like sort of a little bit of information about his crew and what they were sort of doing in space.
Space crime.
Very good.
Do you want that information now?
Yes.
Alright, so Percival Von Donner has a small team of around 10, 12 employees on board his space yacht. They are mostly human and dwarf, with a few halflings and gnomes. You see names like Balthazar, Esmeralda, Gertrude, Melinda, Hugo, stuff like that. And there's a brief description about the vault, the golden vault on board Percival's space yacht. And Percival himself is described as a very tall, thin man, who he was a powerful corporate executive who was like hell-bent on expanding his sort of corporate empire, but eventually turned to a life of searching for the ultimate prize of space. And so, who knows what that means? He's a flamboyant collector of rare exotic artifacts, basically.
Don't let him drug you, because you might wake up on an island and he'll start hunting you for sport.
Yeah.
Would enjoy the challenge.
Erebus, you should be happy about this. There are dwarves on that ship.
Oh, I will be able to use my belt of dwarvenness to make them like me better.
Is that what it's called? The belt of dwarvenness?
It's the
That's a great name. It's like the
belt of
dwarven.
dwarven kind.
I prefer yours. Your
Belt of dwarvenness.
Yeah, that's way better.
I stroke my fully grown mane.
That weird purring ASMR comes back on suddenly, but it's just coming from you.
Oh my.
Is there like a loadout of the boat?
There's a little bit of a map. There's a main section in the interior, which is like the essentially the same, like the cargo hold of the yacht. That this is where they say the Golden Vault is, and apparently the Golden Vault's pretty famous. It's well known. Percival's Golden Vault.
It's a good idea to rob it.
Should we just like contact them, see if they'll let us in, or should we do this all stealth like?
We could try to contact them. I could try to open up a line of communication, see if they accept.
Yeah, let's try not to do anything illegal at first.
All right, open up a communication line.
I
Jade.
assume you say at first because eventually we intend on stealing their things.
Probably.
Right. Okay. All right.
Going how things go.
Let's see what they say.
Ba-ding, 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 ba-ding.
Well, that's odd. They have already sent a general line of communication. There's a distress signal coming from the ship.
Oh,
All right, boys, pack your gear. We're going in hot.
full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead.
Do you want me to open the communications or just fuck it?
Sure. We'll still try, but
All right, let's see what they have to say. It's just a recorded message. You hear an old man's voice say, "If anyone is hearing this, whatever you do, stay far away from this ship. There is nothing but evil on board. I promise you, it is not good for you." And then it just ends. Who the fuck was that? Who do you want to guess that was? Balthazar, Gertrude, or Melinda?
probably
maybe-
Percival.
Probably
Percival.
Gertrude.
Maybe that was the Golden Vault talking. Maybe that was the Sanctuary.
There's another Xanax in the vault.
Jade's becoming increasingly sassy as the days go on.
I love
it. Perk 40 in the vault.
Maybe we should call Glurd back and he can... wait, she didn't hear his name. Never mind. Send the goblins in.
Well, I guess we should maybe attach our airlock to their airlock. Me, Jamal, Cock, Brack, we get on. You detach yourself from the airlock and just sort of float a safe distance away. So you guys are safe, and we try to commandeer a vault. I mean yacht. We're gonna take over a yacht.
Ooh,
Steal from the vault. What?
this could be fun.
A heist.
And this yachty will not be Lil. Sorry.
Ah, it's funny. Maybe we just own a yacht. If everything goes to plan, maybe we just own a yacht. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. We'll have a yacht. We'll put the Bronze Phoenix like in the yacht's hangar bay, and then we'll just sail around in a yacht, pimp style.
We can just moob the Phoenix once we're on the yacht.
Yeah, we can just live in the yacht. We can get the ring fleet to armor up the yacht, put some guns on it.
Oh my god, moob. Oh my god. Everyone's ass cheeks clench when he says moob.
I crush everyone right.
The ship gets bigger when you say it backwards. You become the yacht.
Repeatedly say move.
Alright, Jade. Do you think you can get us hooked up to the yacht?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't shoot us, but it doesn't seem like there's anyone around to shoot us, hopefully. If only we had some sort of life scanner, that would be incredibly helpful, but maybe that's something else you guys need to pick up.
Yeah,
on board this junkyard of a ship. Alright,
Sorry, we tried, okay?
Move forward.
We got stuck in some clown's insane asylum, okay?
Well, at very least, the ship has the feature where you can crush all your crewmates for a couple hours. That was great.
You weren't here for that. You were trapped by some sirens on an asteroid.
No, but Anastasia told me all about it while you were on that stupid ass Star Watch Center.
Oh yeah, well she didn't see the poop guy get launched out of the side when he got
I'm gonna need therapy because of that, you stupid bitch. Oh man.
Jade.
Yeah, no worries. I just got kidnapped by a bunch of singing creatures. That was fun too.
We came to
we should have
rescue
been
you
juiced like an orange.
immediately. Okay?
I appreciate that.
It stays in space.
When you are part of the crew of the Bronze Phoenix, we will risk our life to save you. And if you die, we'll risk our life bringing you back to life.
As you guys are having this conversation, she's slowly moving the ship forward towards the back of the yacht to see that's typically where sort of docking the back underside so that you're not destroyed by the engines. As you guys get closer, the whole of the yacht is a shimmering metallic material, and there's a bunch of windows obviously on either side that sort of glint from the light of nearby stars. As you're sort of spinning, getting a better look, you can see the front of the ship just slightly adorned with a large emblem, stylized lettering PVD, surrounded by intricate filigree. And your ship draws closer. The ship is equipped with several defensive weapons on the underside, turrets, suggesting that the owner maybe was expecting some sort of danger in the lawless region of space that you guys are in. Ooh. Alright, you guys slowly enter into the giant yacht. Your ship minuscule in comparison to the size of this. This is a ship bigger than you've seen before.
Bigger than the Ring Fleet ship we were in?
Yep.
Bigger than the entire Anno fleet.
Yeah, the whole fleet together, no. But yeah, this is the biggest individual ship you've ever seen. And you guys land.
Alright. Since there's possibly the mother's egg laying things in here, we should probably all be masked up, I say, as I put on my air breathing suit.
You've taken it back from Jade, I assume.
Yeah, and I had Reinhardt's off to Jamal, I guess. Well, Jamal can have. Did we decide if Devon still had his or not?
Yeah, I think Timbley had Cox, right?
Yeah, Timbley is mine.
All right, so Barack could fit in Cox, probably.
Could Jamal fit in Reinhardt's?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a bit of squeeze, but he could fit into it.
Alright. And then, Cock, how do you want to try to protect yourself from possible egg laying?
I'm gonna just use my orb.
There we go.
Hope for the best. All right.
Well,
Jade
I guess Jamal,
sarcastically salutes you.
Brock, you guys coming with us?
Yeah, I'm right.
Let's slaughter these motherfuckers.
Of course, Brack is coming.
Jade
with us. There might be a
sarcastically
head to rip
salutes
off
me.
there.
I'm gonna roll persuasion for the best damn salute you've ever seen. I can put that one. Perfect storytelling right there. It's just a middle finger.
All right. You guys head downstairs.
I do wave at her as we leave. I'm like, Jade, you probably want to get the ship off the yacht in case this goes horribly wrong.
Roger that, Captain.
Stay safe, guys.
Brawl is at the bottom of the stairs as you guys head towards the airlock. He's like, Jamal, where are you guys going?
We've got some business to attend to. Don't worry. We'll be back soon.
By the way, are you guys bringing the bodies with you, or are you searching for the thing and then doing that later?
I
I'm
thought
gonna search for the thing first.
Okay.
So we don't want to accidentally forget the bodies on the ship.
Or have them come back to life as zombie
Bludgeoning
weird
people to
creatures.
death with corpses.
All right. You guys exit off. The airlock opens up, all of you wearing your rebreather suits, masks over your face, large tanks on your back, except for Cock, who holds a small box in his hands. And you step off the ship onto, step off your ship onto a different ship. And you can see the large hangar bay out in front of you, metal walls all around. There are a few fighters in here, but they're spread out and they're very fancy. Probably used more for fun than actual combat. I mean, like flying fun, not like they were fucking the jets or something.
Juicy.
Does anyone who has dark vision?
Me.
I can find. What is that actually? Where do you find that? Sure, I have that.
I think
I have 60
Jamal-
feet of dark vision.
Jamal should, because I think Devon did.
Yeah, I said it did.
Oh, I don't.
I do for this time. Yay.
I mean, Cock doesn't.
Double.
Nope.
I do. Yep. 60 feet.
Alright, anyone who doesn't have it is going to need some sort of light source to help them out because it's very dark in here.
I hand Cock my lantern.
Alright, you turn on the lantern. And you begin walking forward towards the nearest door, heading through into a hallway, walking down it, slowly trying not to be heard in case there is anything around. The first thing you notice is that it's very quiet in here. You don't hear sounds of movement. You don't hear sounds of a struggle of any kind. Upon closer inspection, the walls have begun to strangely wither a tad bit. It's quite concerning. The interior looks like you're on board some sort of like Imperial Star Destroyer. So there's like these white glowy walls, but they have strange black markings on them. And then you hear a voice over the intercom above you. Welcome to my ship. To what do I owe the strange pleasure, strangers?
How kind of it. We came looking for an item that you may be in possession of.
I am in possession of many items. You have to be far more specific.
Guys, what's the item called again?
The Azure Sanctuary.
Okay, that. The Azure Sanctuary, or the gate to said location?
Ah, the star.
Yes.
Well, of course, if that is what you require, you will find it in my vault.
Are we allowed to go in there?
Why, of course. How would I even stop you? You do not know where I am.
But you know where we are.
Yes, I do. And I look forward to seeing how you get on with this.
Well, he seems friendly. Would you care to point us in the right direction?
Oh, don't worry. You'll find it.
Alright. I just start walking.
Perhaps if you do come across it, we could make a trade.
Interesting.
You're getting the senses of a shrewd businessman coming through. But be careful, adventurers. And then the line cuts off.
Well, that's not creepy at all. Wait, was this white ship the same giant ship we saw over the asteroid?
No.
He's been watching us the whole time. Guys, what's that ship following you? I don't know. Cock already walked off into the darkness.
Alright.
Follow Cock, I guess.
The party continues forward. You enter into a small kitchen area. Nothing much of note other than posters on the wall that describe, summer work with the cyber company. Floaters from Big Toe being hired off. Not so luxurious jobs. And there's a checklist on the fridge of some things to get done.
I'm gonna open the fridge.
Okay. You open the fridge. The first thing you see that stands out to you is sat on a plate is like a squid-looking creature with blue skin with purple polka dots coming off of it that pulse with some sort of weird squeeginess. You just hear like coming from it. But other than that, on the side, on the door, you see just a bunch of drinks, space coffee, stuff like that.
I'm gonna yell out loud, "Do you mind if I have some space coffee?"
You don't get a response.
I start taking some of the space coffee and just drinking it.
All right, you grab a bottle of space coffee and pop the top off. You sip it down. Ugh, God, this stuff tastes like human drink.
Ugh, I hate humans. I'm in pain and I'm fast. I'm gonna take the squid too.
You grab the squid. The rest of the party watches him grab this defenseless creature.
What is it?
Now that you guys are further into the kitchen, you can see that there's also like a mini bar, and this connects up to a larger room, far more extravagant, that has a king-size bed at the top, sort of up a flight of stairs. Looks like there's maybe like a private bathroom or something, and there's a flat-screen TV on them.
You probably keep looking for the vault.
Rich fabrics all over the place, plush carpets, elegant furniture, but you guys are not distracted. You just want to head straight into the next room?
Exactly.
All right, you move through into a slightly smaller room. Looks to be some sort of master suite. Still very luxurious. Features queen-size bed, private bathroom. You can see a shower inside. Another flat-screen TV on the walls. Another mini bar. Sophisticated decor. Neutral color palette. Modern. Directly into the next room. You see a room designed for relaxation, entertainment. You can see a pool table, comfortable seating all around, another large TV with a sound system. This decor is far more minimalist and kind of bleak, to be honest. You're
Probably
getting more
where the help
depressed
stays.
the further you go. And then finally you enter into a room located at, you think, near sort of, if you guys were on the lower level, you've now moved up a level. And you can see out a large window. There's a beautiful view of the stars around, and you can see almost farther back into the orange mist. There is a lounge area up here, comfortable seating, once again, chairs all around, a telescope for stargazing or something, and a staircase that doesn't lead up to anything. It's just a staircase, and then there's no floor at the top.
I would like to go to the top of this staircase and use perception. See if I see anything that might be there, but pretending not to be.
All right, you walk up to the top, and you see, like I said, nothing. Do you want to, step forward?
Yeah. I'm a cat. I'll land on my feet.
All right, you step forward. You fall into the ground, but you land on your feet.
Ta-da! Alright, guys. Anyone have any ideas on, should we just keep pushing forward? Any magic being detected? Anything like that?
Hawk whips out detect magic as well.
Oh, shit. What's the range on that?
30 feet.
Okay. You don't detect any magic in the immediate area.
Let's keep walking forward then?
I got 10 minutes on this bitch. I start sprinting.
I sprint after her. I leisurely stroll after him.
Take a couple long leg strides towards me.
Okay. You guys continue to move forward into what looks to be a library. A room filled with books and scrolls, other documents that the owner of the yacht has collected over time. This could be a good place to find information on stuff, but it seems Cock is like, look in the room, this is not the vault, keep going, basically.
Yes, that is the mode we're in right now.
I look at it, I'm like, noted. Hopefully I can come back to this later.
The mode. Totes not the mode.
You head through into was essentially a lab, a room equipped with, scientific equipment, microscopes, stuff like that, test tubes. Move past it quickly. Cock is sprinting. You guys are trying to keep up, except for Erebus, who does it easily. The room next to it, there's 2 rooms, actually. A computer area with advanced technology, data analysis, stuff like that. And then the other side looks to be just like a room with a glass sort of cage, maybe, with things inside of it. But as you're moving quickly by, the shadows don't give you much information. And then area opens up. You see a highly secured door protected by a large... How do I describe this without immediately giving away the scenario? You see a large door with a silhouetted figure stood in front of it. A large metal door, but the light isn't giving away much. As the dark vision people walk through, specifically Erebus, you see a metal man stood in front of the door.
Metal man.
Hello there.
Kenobi.
Erebus says, "Hello there," and then you hear, "Unidentified creatures, identify yourself," as the arms move.
We are people here at the leisure of your master. What was it, Perseus? Heracles?
Pimple.
Of your master, who invited us to try and find his vault, and I believe we have tried and found it.
What are your names?
What is yours?
I'm Cock.
Brack.
Ball.
You are not permitted in this area. Permurdered. You're about to be permurdered if you move any closer.
We might not be permitted, but we are permitted.
My circuits disagree.
Well, your circuits are faulty.
Move back from the room.
You move back from the door. Persuasion. I got a nat 1, that makes sense.
If you come any closer, I am permitted to destroy you.
And if you attempt to destroy me, I am permitted to destroy you.
Fair.
It's just a bucket of bolts.
Which is weird, considering robots have been made illegal. But we are in pirate space, so... Alright, give us a moment. Team huddle.
1 moment, please.
Should we just blow it up?
I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Sounds pretty fun. I've never fought a robot before.
Jamal, any opinion on this?
I'm whatever we can do
Gotta watch the points.
to make it the honest. That is how I will fight.
Huh?
Yes, of course.
You did? I think you...
He already walked back into, where we got on the ship.
The man's been drinking a lot of space coffee, alright? He's not...
Still in the kitchen.
Sort of hard to hear you, Nick.
Did you hear that?
My scanners detect you're still here.
Check again. I pop out of the huddle and say check again and then go back.
Yep, they're still saying you're still here.
Sort of, Nick. It was better than before.
While we're mid-huddle, I do some magic man hands behind me and summon my tortoise.
What were you going to say, Nick?
I plead no contest on this one.
Alright, we blow it up.
Alright. Stealth! 26.
Alright. And what are you doing?
Stealth.
Right, what are you doing?
hiding. I guess with the tortoise being someone, I'm like diving underneath it into its shadow.
Okay. You're underneath the turtle?
Yeah.
Alright.
And then I'll proceed to shoot the robot.
Okay.
Damn, that's not gonna work. 11?
Gonna get
Nope. 12. Nope. 13.
Okay, so you shoot past the robot, past his head, and it blasts into the door behind it. And immediately the arms swivel forward and start spinning in your direction, or in the direction of the turtle. I need everyone in the room, which I assume is all of you, to make dex saving throws with disadvantage. Unless
What does
you have
that
anything
mean?
that counters disadvantage. What do you mean?
What does disadvantage mean against dex saves?
You just
You
have to
roll
roll
it twice and you take the lower number.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
5. Actually,
Man,
no.
that's
Not a
real,
5.
that's real sad, bro. I got a 6. My other one
I
was a
thought I got-
17.
I got on my first, so I assumed that I didn't want to fucking roll because my dice had fallen on the floor, and then I looked at it and it was a natural 1. So
Oh.
Wait, Dylan.
Also, everyone who isn't Erebus gets a +3 because they're in my aura. Of
Nice.
Aura.
Hey, Dylan. I have something that says advantage on dex against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Okay. So I
So-
guess you don't have a disadvantage, you just roll once then.
Okay, then I still got the 6 because that was the first one I rolled.
I got
Did any of you get above a 15?
no.
Yes.
no.
Alright.
If this is damage, I am only going to take half because of evasion, and if this is poison, I will also only take half because I am resistant to it.
Okay, the second the blast of Erebus's gun goes off, a small explosion happens under the ground below you guys. So everyone except Cock and Erebus is going to take 12 damage. Not too bad. The funny thing is I try to prepare these things to do more damage every session because I always roll horribly, but one of these days I'm going to roll really well and just end up killing you on accident.
Kill all of us.
Yeah.
Just one hit.
And as that happens, the strange android in front of you will also fire his hand cannon.
Do me and Cock take half damage and take 6 instead of 12?
Yes. Does a 17, I assume, hits Erebus?
Does the total provide any cover with me underneath it?
You
So
can
I-
add a... What?
So I still got hit by the shit anyway.
Yeah, you just take half.
Ah.
You and Erebus managed to dive farther away than the rest of the crew, but you still got scorched a bit. You can add 2 to your AC. Does a 17 still hit you, Erebus?
It would be at 17, so yes. Uncanny dodge. I'll still take half damage.
Oh my god, I fucking suck. It's gonna be 6 damage again. As he shoots you. Please leave the room. Before security gets here.
Rolling initiative?
You're telling me that isn't the security?
Do we need to roll initiative, Dylan?
If you guys plan on fighting, then yes.
Believe that's the plan, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm spunk 'em up.
Then I'm gonna activate my rage.
20.
Oh, right. We gotta roll for it.
Fucking hell.
And I have advantage.
8.
19.
That will be my only good initiative roll for the rest of the campaign.
What'd Jamal get?
13.
Alright, I don't have a map for this.
Sad.
Well,
Picture
I'm
yourself
going to-
in a long corridor with a robot at the end, and you guys are coming into it. You're coming into the robot. Jesus Christ. Cock, what would you like to do?
How far away is the robot?
40 feet.
Alright. Cock is going to run and hop up on your boy. Who is like maybe 10 feet away from him. 5, I don't know. And then the tortoise is gonna run and stampede at the robot. Robot.
Robook.
Attack him.
Okay. Go ahead.
Alright, does a 25 hit him?
Yes.
And he needs to make a strength saving throw as well.
14.
Alright, he is not knocked prone and takes 10 damage.
Right.
Then Cock is gonna whack him with Lady Warrior's Holy Disco Flail. Does a 19 hit him?
Yep.
Alright. That will be 14 damage. And then Cock's gonna hit him again. Not even gonna ask. That'll be 16 more damage. And I end my turn in attack mode.
All right. Brack.
Alright, I'm gonna activate Rage and Frenzy. Can't really activate Frenzy, it's just the thing, it just goes up. And I'm gonna run the 40 feet in front of me and attack him.
Sounds good.
Does a 27 hit?
Yep.
Alright. 16 damage.
The 2 tanks going to work. All right.
And then I'm gonna attack again. Does a 19 hit?
Yep.
And I'll do 13 damage.
All right. So you both have just come up and started taking chunks of metal off this mechanical being. You can see wires and circuits become exposed. I'm exposing you, fam. All right. Is that your full go?
Yeah.
All right. On its turn, its eyes go black and it just falls over.
Well, that's not good.
Well, that was just a waste of a rage, bruh.
I'm gonna floor it to the vault door.
Yeah, Erebus does the same.
All right, you guys start running over to the vault door, and it is just
I'm
this
just gonna
large.
stand on the robot.
All right, you use the rest of your rage to just stomp its head.
Yeah. Just cut its head off completely.
You guys run up to the 20-foot tall giant metal door. It's sort of like two halves come together, like doors are sometimes. Like a vault door, basically. Yeah.
Sleight of hand, try to open it.
Okay, but what are you doing to try to open it?
Is there like I open safes all the time at work. What the fuck is it called? A dial? For like the combo to go in?
Yes, there is.
So I'm gonna like put my ear up to the door and start like twisting the dial to like figure out what the combo is and entering it.
Okay, you can give that a chance. Give that a shot.
I'm also gonna pick up its head and look right in its face and go, "You're mine now."
24.
Alright, so you're listening for the right combination. And as you're trying to get it right, before you even finish, the door begins to open.
I'm just that good, guys. Just that good.
And
Also, that wasn't me, so be ready.
immediately, you see tons and tons of valuable artifacts, rare gems, powerful weapons that the ship's owner, Percival, has collected over the years. The vault is divided into several compartments, each with its own level of, security, you assume. I assume you walk inside.
Yes.
Yeah, I tossed it
Entering.
behind me.
Close the door.
I saw the loot and I looked at its head. I'm just like, "Nah, I want that."
And it's at this point that you begin to hear the sound of sniveling. Coming from inside the vault.
We let Gollum in here.
Whatever it is, I'll crush its head.
And upon a giant pile of artifacts on the floor, gold, some other stuff, something slowly creeps up. The gold cascades down around it. and you see a figure with 3 arms and a bloated face, with tiny little baby hands, claws crawling out from its chest, and you hear, and that's where we're gonna end today's session.
Boom, 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 boom,
The baby. Hunt the baby.